So I think we'll probably get started with the session if you're ready, Shamia.
Yeah, perfect. Welcome to all that have joined. If there are others that join, I'll just give them a quick introduction about myself as well, but we'll get started. So I'm going to give a little presentation about turning challenges into opportunities, how I've turned my challenges into opportunities in lockdown, and how you can then do the same thing as well, coming into it and just coming out of lockdown really, really strong with more skills and more successes in general. So a bit about me before I get into it. So for you to know who I am for where I'm talking about this, so I am a mathematics student in second year. I'm from Leicester, so I was born here, went to all my schools, colleges here, and I am at University of Leicester here as well. I'm the founder of Women in Maths, so that's a platform I founded towards the end of last academic year, just before the lockdown. So I'll go more into that in a bit more detail later. And then I'm also the STEM champion, lead mentor for mathematics department, and a diversity lead for mathematics as well. And I have a part-time job in retail. So all of this reflects the challenges that came upon me as well. And then I'll just show you how I tackle that and how you can do it as well if you're in place, or how you can do it in your own sort of aspect as well. So if we go on to the next slide. I think I'm a bit stuck. So slide number 3. Okay, so challenges. So I think you can see. I think this might be frozen. So challenges. What are challenges? What challenges did I face? What challenges will you face in lockdown? So we all know lockdown just came with. It was a shock. Like I will say myself as well, that we weren't expecting it. When people were talking about, yep, this is happening in China where people can't go outside. I was like, that's not true. That can't possibly be right. Sure, something's gonna sort out, and I don't think that's even possible. But then we went into lockdown. We literally, as this picture shows, we were inside a bubble, and literally the world was outside. Everything out was left outside, and everything in was left inside. So what did I face in terms of challenges? So everyone, I think, has faced this and has had it impact with them. So we couldn't meet with other family members. We couldn't meet with friends. Our social life was disturbed, which made everyone a bit upset as well, and was feeling really, really sad. So it was really, really, really challenging for how this came to us all of a sudden. So we kind of saw this as very, very different things, because I don't know about yourselves, but there were lots of weddings that were supposed to happen in lockdown in my family, and all of that got disturbed. Then when friends achieved something such as the 2020 graduates, they couldn't have their graduation ceremony. Other sort of little achievements and stuff. Everything was very, very different this year. And again, one point I want to mention is another challenge that I faced was shopping and like our normal day-to-day routine tasks. So gyms were closed, shopping was closed, and one thing that I had to do was then order online, because I stay with a vulnerable person. And another challenge I faced there is receiving substitutes for items. Oh my God. I don't know if you can all relate to that, but that's definitely something that was a bit I wasn't expecting this to come, but instead it's come. So it's just all of this. So now moving into what sort of opportunities I have taken from that. So hopefully you can see slide 4. So opportunities with that. For example, I'll start with the fact that I received substitutes. Now I can see, obviously, hopefully it's something that you can't, like it's not something that you can't eat. But other than that, it was things that then I had an opportunity to with, to try new things out and to bake with new things. And generally in all, I saw all of these challenges as very, very different opportunities. So these are some examples that I've just put up here, such as 4-year career progression, you can learn something new. So being in lockdown, you've got a lot more time on your hands. There's a lot more flexibility, and there are several ways you can actually get involved, and which I did as well. So I started exploring my passion for baking, which I really didn't have time to do before, because me again studying Monday to Friday and then having a retail job in the weekends, I was very busy, very engaged throughout. But having this sort of time at home, and I just got the chance to just take a break, look into myself, and explore different things which I didn't usually do. So this is something really useful that I found for myself, because I get to understand myself a bit better, get to explore more things about myself, and these are things that I can actually take on with me in as a career progression. Because when I go into interviews, people will ask me, oh, what did you do, what sort of a person are you, and how did you actually tackle yourself, and how did you build yourself during the lockdown period. And this is something that I want all of you to reflect on and think about. What did you do with your time during this lockdown? How did you utilize it best, and what did you do in terms of making this sort of challenge into an opportunity to learn something? So show that drive, show that passion. There's a lot of online opportunities available to learn new skills, to for example, start coding, or do get trained onto something, get certificates online, and just basically get involved. The next point I want to mention is adaptability. So definitely again, with the shopping point of view, it was something that we all had to do. It was not even much of a choice, to be honest, where we had to change our ways of working. But this again is something really recognized by job employers and recruiters, because they want you to show flexibility in work, and there is not a better chance to talk about where you have been flexible than this sort of period of lockdown. So adapting in terms of shopping, again, in terms of going out, how are you now changed your ways of working, your ways of day-to-day tasks with these measures in place. Birthdays as well, that was another thing. Everyone had birthdays in lockdown. I had my birthday in lockdown, so I couldn't go out. But how did you challenge that? How did you still enjoy your day? Talk about it with when you go into interviews, because that's something that people will really love discussions about. Everyone's going through the same phase right now, and showing that adaptability and how you tackled it will really come across as a really big strength. So the final thing again is time management. So this is something that again is really useful for you to take as a transferable skill to your job application and learning it in this period, because now that everyone mostly has lectures and things online, you have the freedom to look at it and to study alongside what's best for you, and make your own timetable. How are you managing that? Are you sticking to the plans of the university given timetables? Are you doing your own set around other commitments that you have? How are you keeping up with it? And generally, these sorts of skills people will expect from you, because now work and lots of employers are looking at more flexible approaches, where they will give you time to work from home as well. And lots of companies, well, almost all companies have actually gone to a work from home environment during this lockdown period. So where have you shown your engagement in this? How have you managed your time? With that as well, with the bottom right picture of the man taking the sun in the early morning, that's sort of something as well, where how have you taken care of yourself? So this is another time management. This is something that you also need to reflect upon, that are you taking care of yourself, your well-being, your mindset, all of this sort of different engagements, where you need to make sure that you're on top of it and make it a sort of strength rather than a challenge. Did something to say? They've raised their hand. Rahma, or no? Not too sure. If there is anything, feel free to pop it on the chat, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions or just share more about myself as well as we go into it. But again, so this is sort of a No problem at all, Rahma. So this is again sort of something which I thought it's really great, good visual because you can just see the different skills that a or a employer is looking for and how this lockdown actually helps you explore these different areas. And I will show you some of my own. So this is a time for you. So I'm going to say it's your turn. Think about what challenges you faced and how you've turned that into an opportunity. So I'll give you 2 minutes to think about it. There's not many of you here, so if you can even pop it into the chat if you want, and we can have a quick just I can just mention some things based on that, or just think about it yourself and think at this stage how what challenges you personally faced. Everyone's situation was very, very different, very, very unique because of the way of how our normal lives were. And I think this is another chance to really appreciate that the normal life was it wasn't a given, you know. All of these sorts of things are to be really appreciated, and then how we've turned those means into different ways, how we as people can be very, very flexible and adaptable in situations, and we can actually make the really, really, really good use out of other tools. So I hope you've had a think about the challenges you've faced and how you've turned those into opportunities. I'll give you 1 more minute just to think about that, and then I'll go to talking about how I've done it. So if you want to note it down, and then you can reflect upon that, something really, really useful. Because another tip that I would give is when you then go into interviews and when employers are asking you questions, they want examples. And if you have these things down where you've noted down, this was something that I did, and this was a challenge, and this is how I overcame it. Taking this example into your interview will be really, really useful, and the employers will be really, really impressed with it and will actually take it that, oh yes, you have shown great flexibility there, or great drive there, or great time management, or any of the other transferable skills that you have shown. Yeah, so we'll move on. So my turn. Oh, fabulous, Caitlin. So Caitlin's challenge was trying to complete coursework and do exams from home this summer in a very busy and loud household. The opportunity she had with this is she adapted to working in different environments, which could be useful in future endeavors. Very, very well said, Caitlin. That is something definitely people will see, because when you are in an employment and if for instance you're working in a very, very busy environment where you've got lots of deadlines, you've got lots of tasks to do, but people are getting on with other things as well, showing that sort of strength to get on with your thing, to stay focused and to move into different environments and still be flexible and adapt around the environment. That is definitely a very, very good strength, and I think you should definitely note that down and mention it to when you're saying speaking to your future employer. So thanks for sharing that, Caitlin. So my turn. I will tell you about a few of my things where I've turned my challenges into opportunities. Hopefully I can go on to slide. I am ever so sorry. I think I am having technical difficulties.
So Shamia's just been cut off from the call, but she is in the process of reconnecting. So if we can all just wait a minute, and feel free to put any questions in the chat.
Myself. So this is something that I did as a woman in STEM platform leader and someone that wanted to actually get out there and engage with. So I took the opportunity definitely of being at university, taking a voice, holding a stand and making a change. So I did all of these things. So obviously the first two on the top are things that I attended and I got engaged with when obviously life was normal and you can sit next to 200, 300 people and it was absolutely fine. Now obviously it's a bit different, but then I took that and I went forward to actually holding events and bringing my own people in and sharing opportunities, giving them opportunities, networking, allowing them to network as well. So I did this and I was having a blast, and then suddenly March came and everything's shut. And I was like, oh no, what do I do now? I can't go out to any other school. I can't do this. I can't do that. I was going to get engaged with a lot of the Kickstart days and open events for the for the university, for other in other schools as well, because I was going to go and help there. But all of this got stopped just there and then, because all of a sudden we're in the middle of a pandemic. And I will just show you the next slide, slide 8, which hopefully you can see, and that's within 4 weeks. So within 4 weeks, from how it was to how it's going, it significantly changed, and you can see for the better. I hope you can see. Slide 8 regarding. Let me just make sure you can see that. So. So I will talk about it. Hopefully you can see it. So it should say how it's going. But there, I engaged within 4 weeks in more than 11, more than 15 almost events. And it was amazing. And there is so much out there because of the fact that it's virtual, it's all online for you to actually get engaged with. There is nothing stopping you, and there is actually more coming straight to you because of the fact that you're sat at home, it's all online. You can actually reach the other corner of the world to attend an event, which was not an option before, which was a bit of restricted before. So I think definitely make the most out of this. Think about how you can change your challenge into an opportunity, as I did. I then grasped every opportunity I can get. I then held my events virtually. I attended so many different networking events online. I took part in every opportunity and challenge I can do, and there are lots and lots of opportunities actually out there, and I would definitely recommend for you to get engaged with. So that was just something that I wanted to mention for how I changed my challenge into an opportunity. Now again, I want to move to the next slide, hopefully you can see, which has a question for you. So who are you? So what is it about you that you can take forward? What are your strengths and skills? So I know not everyone's the sort of person that wants to hold events or get engaged or work in this environment. But what but what is it about you that you can make the most out of this time? How can you move forward? How can you use skills? And what skills will you change? So I'm not telling all of you to go and host an event online, but what I am telling you is explore something new. Challenge yourself, make the challenge into a challenge you are ready to accept and come out with flying colors. So the next slide I want to show is just some sort of different characteristics. So everyone's different. Maybe something that you want to explore is cooking, more cooking, get involved in more baking, just passions and hobbies which maybe you find that you have a very good interest with. Start doing other things, explore hobbies such as music or dancing or any other sort of performing arts. Get into other sort of skills, like I did an online first aid course, and I think that was something very useful as well. See if spend time with your family. That's another thing that really is beneficial and something that you can look into. So definitely start using all these different skills about you and show passion in certain areas and explore things that you wouldn't have normally done, but this time is actually giving you the opportunity to do, and I would definitely say make the most out of it. So just on the next slide before I finish, Caitlin just said, I know the University of Leicester offers a lot of free educare courses, some of which I have taken, and I think they can be useful in receiving skills whilst in lockdown. Definitely the first aid course that I did say was for that. So I did the Educare First Aid course, and definitely just start exploring things. There's so much available online, and this slide that I've put up, connect and network, is so key, because more opportunities will come to you as you start connecting. Be on Zoom, be on Teams all the time, because these are the two platforms that people will use now to expand out and to network with all of you and to make the most of it. And obviously I've put LinkedIn. I think this was one tool that's definitely helped me. I only made my profile in February, after which I was having the events, and since then I've been able to connect with so many more people and attend so many more different events with the fact that they were posting it on there, and there was a chance for me to have a look on there and actually attend. And obviously there's Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, but those are things that obviously it's up to yourselves. No problem at all. But generally just any opportunity you get, connect and network. I think those are the two key things that you can definitely make out of in here sat at home in lockdown, because the computer is literally your door, your PC is your door, because people you can explore the world just sat in one place, and the world will come to you just through that means as well. And so I just want to end it there and say a very big thank you with the slide, and say go reach for the stars. So I think that's definitely something. There is nothing stopping you. There is use all the opportunities available. Don't let these challenges come to you. Take care of yourselves and just go out there and make the most out of it, and literally just build up your CV with all these fantastic things you're doing, and don't let it stop you. So I just want to end on there. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you,
Thanks
Shamia.
for attending.
That's great. So we'll probably end the recording here. Thanks everyone for coming.